You are a security operations manager at a large financial institution. Recently, your organization experienced a security incident where an unauthorized user gained access to the corporate network. During the investigation, it was discovered that the attacker exploited a misconfigured network access control (NAC) system to bypass authentication and access sensitive data. As part of the incident response process, you need to implement a solution to prevent such incidents in the future. What action should you prioritize to effectively strengthen your NAC system against unauthorized access? A. Implement role-based access control, RBAC, to limit user permissions on the network. B. Update the NAC system's access policies to require two-factor authentication for all devices attempting to connect. Conduct a full audit of all network devices to ensure they are running the latest firmware versions. D. Configure the NAC system to perform deep packet inspection on all incoming and outgoing network traffic.
Anybody want to jump in with thinking through it? Want to justify your answer, maybe? I'm reading and following along with everyone, and I actually don't really know myself. We got one vote for C, but I'm going to go with the veterans.
One of the words that stood out was misconfigured network access control at the top. So that had to be with like a configuration setting, and policies would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I read right past that one. That'll give it away.
As the Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, for a multinational corporation, you are tasked with revising the company's network security policies due to increased cyber threats. The company operates in multiple regions, each with its unique regulatory requirements. Recently, the organization experienced multiple security incidents involving data breaches through improperly configured firewalls and unencrypted sensitive data in transit. To address these issues, you've decided to implement a new security architecture that includes enhanced firewall configurations, end-to-end encryption, and comprehensive logging and monitoring. Which of the following actions should be prioritized to effectively mitigate the risk of future breaches while ensuring compliance with diverse regional regulations? A. Implement a unified global firewall policy that applies identical rules across all regions to simplify management and ensure consistent security. B. Enforce region-specific firewall configurations that comply with the local regulations and address unique threat landscapes while implementing centralized encryption and monitoring solutions. C. Prioritize the deployment of a state-of-the-art encryption solution across all networks first, postponing the firewall configuration updates until the encryption is fully implemented. D. Focus on enhancing logging and monitoring capabilities before addressing firewall configurations and encryption to ensure immediate detection and response to any incidents.
B. Why do we think B? Enforce region-specific firewall configurations that comply with local regulations.
Mention it operates multiple regions.
Right.
XYZ Corporation, a multinational enterprise, has recently faced multiple security incidents due to inconsistent implementation of security policies across its global branches. The organization's CISO decides to develop a comprehensive security policy framework that ensures uniform security measures while allowing some flexibility for regional adjustments. As a CISSP, you are tasked with proposing a strategy for implementing this framework. What approach should you recommend to ensure global consistency, yet accommodate regional differences in security requirements? A. Implement a centralized security policy managed by the headquarters, with no regional adaptations to ensure uniformity. Develop a core security policy framework with mandatory controls and allow regional branches to implement additional controls as needed. C. Allow each regional branch to create its own security policies independently based on local regulations and business needs. D. Adopt a decentralized approach where security policy decisions are made at the regional level, with coordination meetings held annually to align strategies.
I'm going to give it to like 2.5 minutes to read the questions. I just realized I was rushing. Haven't led in a little while, guys. Forgive me. All right, let's see what we got. Correct.
A multinational corporation has recently experienced a suspected data breach involving unauthorized access to sensitive client information stored on their internal servers. The security operations team has been tasked with managing the incident response process. They have determined the initial infection vector was through a phishing email containing a malicious link which led to the installation of malware on an employee's workstation. The malware communicated with an external command and control server. The team has already contained the incident by isolating affected systems and is now in the eradication phase. What should be the team's next step to ensure complete eradication and prevent future occurrences of similar incidents? A. Conduct a thorough forensic analysis of the affected systems to identify all malware components and remove them. B. Implement network segmentation to limit the spread of malware across the network. C. Review and update the company's email filtering and security awareness training programs. D. Restore all systems from the last known clean backup to remove any traces of the malware.
So we're going C. You're going to update the company's email filtering and security awareness training programs versus A. Conduct a thorough forensic analysis of the affected systems. Go ahead, Victor.
Some of the clues given on the questions, they determined that the initial infection vector was through a phishing email containing a malicious link, which led to the installation of malware on an employee workstation. So that's why I went with C.
I see it now because the team has already contained the incident.
The consideration here is the complete eradication. So the question, if you ask me, is kind of clumsy. Is having two separate inputs that will have two separate answers. Looking at complete eradication, all of those review will not eradicate whatever malware is left in the system. It's a two-part question, but it's having one answer. So that's my issue with the question right now.
Yes.
Complete eradication, C will not do it. Prevent future occurrence, A will not do it. If you look at it closely. Yeah, that's what I think.
I agree. Only because I'm not totally sure, but let's find out. See. Let's see why we think this. Okay, that makes sense. Does that make sense to everybody? Or what's that under, Victor?
Yeah, it makes sense. I see the other part now from the answer. So yeah.
But what I do want to know, because some of these questions are new, and I mean, there's 3,500 questions now, so I have not gone through all of them. Do they seem, is this like a good question that people feel like they learned from, or is there ways to make it better? I mean, we don't have to get into ways to make it better right now, but if people have questions that they like, if you could send them to me, I can use those to make similar styles, if that makes any sense. They're not going to be like identical, but they can, I don't even know how to describe it. You know, create different parts of speech where it is like a two-part question and it has the correct answer and the correct other answers that would be wrong for different reasons. So if anyone has examples of questions that they've come across they really like, if you send them to me, I can definitely.
All right, absolutely. I'll send you some to you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Because I want everyone to feel excited about using the platform and stuff, and I do want the questions to be good. So that's something I can work on.
As the Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, of a multinational corporation, you are tasked with enhancing the organization's network security posture. The company has recently experienced several attempted intrusions targeting sensitive manufacturing blueprints. To counteract these threats, you decide to implement a comprehensive security policy that includes the use of encryption for data in transit, strict firewall rules, and robust system configuration standards. However, during a security audit, it was discovered that certain departments were not adhering to the encryption standards due to perceived performance issues, and firewall rules were not consistently updated across all network segments. What is the most effective approach to ensure compliance with security policies and address the discrepancies identified in the audit? A. Conduct a company-wide training session emphasizing the importance of security policies and the specific risks associated with non-compliance. B. Implement a centralized management system for firewall rule updates and monitor network traffic to ensure encryption standards are met. C. Assign departmental security champions to oversee the implementation of policies and report directly to the security team. D. Increase the frequency of security audits and enforce strict penalties for non-compliance with the established security policies.
During a recent security incident at a financial services company, unauthorized access was detected on a sensitive server containing customer financial records. The incident response team identified that the attacker used a stolen set of credentials to gain access through a VPN. However, the attacker was able to disable several security monitoring tools during their session. As part of the incident response process, what should be the primary focus to prevent similar incidents in the future? A. Implement multi-factor authentication, MFA, for VPN access, and enhance logging to ensure all actions are recorded. B. Conduct a security awareness training program focusing on password security for all employees. C. Immediately disable all external VPN access and switch to a more secure remote access solution. D. Install endpoint detection and response, EDR solutions on all servers to monitor and respond to suspicious activities.
All right. Looks like we're all in, mostly in. Go for A. All right. Go ahead, Victor.
So something about this question, if you look at the question at the end, it says, as part of the incident response process, what should be the primary focus to prevent similar incident in the future? For a second, I thought it was going to be C, just because I feel like implementing the MFA will come as a remediation after, not doing the incident response.
Okay, so in CISSP, remediation is a part of incident response. Actually, is one of the 7 points they talked about there. I think the second to the last one is remediation. After reporting is remediation, or the thereabouts is around there.
A mid-sized financial institution is in the process of updating its security policies and procedures to address recent regulatory changes and enhance its cybersecurity posture. The institution has a mix of on-premises and cloud-based systems, and they are heavily reliant on third-party services. The security team is tasked with ensuring that data encryption, both at rest and in transit, aligns with industry best practices and regulatory requirements. Additionally, they need to implement technical measures to ensure that only authorized systems can communicate with critical financial applications. Which combination of security policies and technical controls should the security team prioritize to achieve these objectives? A. Implement a policy mandating the use of AES 256 encryption for all data at rest and TLS 1.2 or above for data in transit, and configure firewall rules to restrict access to critical applications to a predefined list of IP addresses. Develop a policy requiring the use of proprietary encryption algorithms for data protection and implement port mirroring for network traffic analysis to ensure only authorized traffic reaches critical applications. C. Adopt a policy that mandates full disk encryption using DES for data at rest and SSL for data in transit, and use network segmentation to isolate critical applications from the rest of the network. D. Create a policy enforcing the use of RSA for encrypting all data transmissions, and implement a VPN solution to tunnel traffic between trusted network segments and critical applications.
Yeah, I'm going to send that one. Yep. And best practices.
As the newly appointed Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, of a multinational corporation, you have been tasked with updating the organization's security policies to address recent cybersecurity threats. During your assessment, you discovered that while the organization has a comprehensive firewall policy, there is no consistent encryption policy for data at rest across different departments, which leads to proprietary data being stored without encryption in some cases. Furthermore, while there is an overarching network security policy, individual departments have been independently configuring their network routers and switches, leading to inconsistent security postures. What is the best course of action to ensure alignment with industry standards and improve the organization's security posture? A. Implement a centralized encryption policy that mandates AES 256 for all data at rest and enforce adherence through regular audits. B. Develop a standardized network configuration template that all departments must follow and deploy a monitoring system to ensure compliance. C. Prioritize the development of a comprehensive data classification policy as a precursor to implementing encryption and network configuration standards. D. Mandate the use of a single firewall configuration across all departments to ensure uniformity in security measures and reduce administrative overhead.
Is there more verbiage below D? It's probably cut off a little.
No consistent encryption policy for data at rest. They have the firewall in place. Proprietary data being stored without encryption in some cases. Yeah, I guess that's potentially because of poor classification, but me. All right. You guys got it. Yeah, I guess that's kind of the CISSP perspective. It's a pretty reactive technical perspective to go with A, but C does feel more managerial.
Another reason why A was not correct was because of the network configuration issue. I'm not sure you saw that the routers and the switches were all being configured independently. That was an issue there too. So
Yeah.
that's why they just make A not correct. It was too streamlined to encryption.
Yeah. A
Of
was
course.
kind of touching one piece of the problem
Absolutely.
and leaving the network issue there.
Of course, the classification actually nailed it because of the proprietary, proprietary data that's the
Right. Right.
That classification nailed it. Otherwise, it was between B and C. But when I saw that proprietary data, I knew it was going to be good.
A large financial institution is implementing a privacy protection strategy to safeguard sensitive customer information across its network. The organization employs a combination of file encryption, access controls, and data masking to protect sensitive data. However, they have identified potential vulnerabilities in their current approach, particularly regarding the data being accessed and processed by third-party applications. As the newly appointed Chief Information Security Officer, or CISO, you are tasked with ensuring that all customer data remains private and secure, even when shared with third-party vendors. What should be your primary course of action to enhance privacy protection in this scenario? A. Implement a data loss prevention (DLP) solution to monitor data flows and prevent unauthorized access. B. Utilize homomorphic encryption to allow computations on encrypted data without decrypting it first. C. Enforce strict access control policies and conduct regular audits of third-party vendor systems. D. Employ tokenization for customer data before sharing it with third-party vendors.
Employ tokenization. Why do you think that?
C looks better, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm just taking a chance.
Okay. Gotta,
Good point, Vince. Yeah.
gotta take risks. Never know. All right, let's try. Well, the majority's got C. Let's go for it. See? Gotta go with the gut sometimes. But I don't understand this. Okay. Go ahead, Reg.
Mario chose D, right? Yeah. Mario
Yes,
chose
I
Mario
did.
chose
Yeah.
D.
Why did I choose D?
Yes.
Well, I was reading through this and see it is saying, you know, the, you know, enhanced privacy protection, right? Because when you use token, it's more secure as far as data loss prevention, right? Because it is a long strings of strings data, right? So so I thought when I reading through this, of course we need to have access control. We have other encryption decryption number two, right? The first one saying that prevent unauthorized, first A and C more of an access level. I thought this looks little more more into the data loss prevention. That's just a thought, but it has to do with something with token too, I believe.
A multinational corporation is developing a new security policy for its distributed network infrastructure, which includes offices across multiple continents and a mix of cloud-based and on-premise resources. The company's Security Operations Center, SOC, has noticed an increasing number of sophisticated cyber threats targeting their network perimeter and internal systems. To mitigate these risks, the security team is considering implementing a combination of network segmentation, end-to-end encryption, and advanced firewall configurations. During the policy formulation process, the team must decide on the most effective way to enforce security controls without severely impacting business operations or violating data privacy regulations in different jurisdictions. Which approach should the team prioritize to achieve these goals? A. Implement application layer gateway firewalls with deep packet inspection across all network segments. B. Adopt a zero-trust architecture where every access request is authenticated and authorized, regardless of network location. C. Deploy a single, uniform encryption standard globally to simplify data protection measures. D. Centralize all security monitoring and management to a single SOC location for efficiency.
Hey, we did it. 80%. Good job, team. And let's try this. Try it live. We should see cloud progress tracking. If that's not a law in nature, I don't know what is. All right, well, I'm still working on that. Whoa, what time is it?
A medium-sized enterprise, Tech Solutions, Inc., is implementing a network access control NAC solution to enhance its internal network security. They want to ensure that all devices connecting to their network comply with their security policies, including necessary patches and updates. One critical requirement is that devices failing compliance checks should be placed in a restricted network segment, where they can access only update servers and remediation resources. Considering these requirements, which NAC implementation method should Tech Solutions, Inc. choose for their network? A. Agent-based NAC with Quarantine VLANs. B. Agentless NAC with inline enforcement. C. Agent-based NAC with out-of-band enforcement. D. Network-level NAC with pre-admission control.
Reg, this is your wheelhouse, huh? What do you think? I don't know. I'm not a network guy. You might be muted, Victor. We can't hear you.
What was the,
Yeah, sorry. Hey, Victor.
Hey guys, sorry.
There
I'm just not sure. I mean, they are internal network devices, so I don't know why you will put them in a VLAN. Probably the
Uh,
explanation there.
Yeah. So the reason why there's need to put them in a VLAN, I think in the question they're saying you need to isolate these devices once the NAC has identified that these devices are not compliant. There has to be a way of to isolate those devices. So you want to put them in a different VLAN, which is separate from the ones that are compliant. So I guess that's where a quarantine VLANs is the correct thing there.
Absolutely, because what happens is when you put them in a different subset, there you can make them get the patches they need and get all of the security policy control that they were missing. Get them written in that VLAN or in that subnet, wherever anyhow you want to implement it. I think a subnet can also implement this, but it's got to be a separate network that puts all of this kind of airing devices. That's what happened here. And of course, agent-based, because it's got to be a deep inspection and only a software running on those endpoints that can actually do that. You need a software that's like agents that run on those devices that can actually have that deep inspection.
A multinational corporation has recently suffered a data breach due to improper handling of encryption keys, leading to unauthorized access to sensitive customer data. The Chief Information Security Officer, CISO, has tasked you with developing a comprehensive policy to bolster the organization's encryption practices. Your primary goals include ensuring robust key management, maintaining data confidentiality, and facilitating compliance with international data protection regulations. Given the technical landscape, which approach should you prioritize to enhance the overall encryption security while also considering operational efficiency and regulatory compliance? A. Implement a centralized key management system, KMS, that supports automated key rotation and auditing. B. Adopt a hybrid encryption model combining symmetric and asymmetric encryption for all data transactions. C. Focus on deploying full disk encryption on all corporate devices to protect data at rest. D. Mandate the use of end-to-end encryption for all communications using open-source encryption libraries.
Yeah, that one was in the question, right?
A multinational corporation, Acme Corp, is implementing a new data protection strategy to comply with GDPR and other privacy regulations. The company's been using a centralized database to store personal data of customers from different regions. Acme Corp is concerned about unauthorized access and data breaches, especially since the database is accessible over the internet and multiple third-party services integrate with it. As the CISSP Certified Security Manager, you are tasked with implementing privacy protection controls that ensure data confidentiality, integrity, and availability while maintaining compliance with privacy laws. Which combination of technical implementations should you prioritize to achieve these objectives? A. Implement IPsec to encrypt data in transit, configure database activity monitoring, DAM, to log and alert on suspicious activities, and enforce data masking for all fields containing personal information. B. Deploy a virtual private network, VPN, for database access, implement a web application firewall, WAF, to filter incoming and outgoing traffic, and use transport layer security, TLS, for data encryption at rest. C. Use strong encryption for data at rest, implement role-based access control, RBAC, to restrict access, and set up a data loss prevention, DLP, system to monitor and prevent unauthorized data transfer.
Looks like the A's have it. This is a tough one to get late in the session.
XYZ Corporation is implementing a new security policy to address data leakage through email communications. The company handles sensitive information that must be protected in transit, and they are concerned about unauthorized data exfiltration. The security team has decided to implement a data loss prevention, DLP, solution integrated with their email gateway. As the security officer, you need to define the policies that must be enforced by the DLP system. Which of the following configuration choices would be the most effective in achieving this goal? A. Configure the DLP system to monitor outbound emails for patterns matching credit card numbers and encrypt any email containing such patterns. B. Set up the DLP system to block any outbound email containing attachments with file types such as .doc, .xls, and .pdf. C. Use the DLP system to silently log all outbound emails without enforcing any restrictions to assess the scale of data sent. D. Implement the DLP system to flag and quarantine emails containing keywords related to sensitive projects before they are sent externally.
All right. Yeah.
All the other answers would just send the information in the DLP.
Acme Corp, a large financial organization, is conducting a thorough security audit of its network infrastructure. The audit reveals that the company's Network Access Control (NAC) system is not effectively segmenting network traffic based on device type, leading to potential security risks. The audit team recommends implementing a new NAC policy that requires all devices to authenticate based on their security posture before gaining access to sensitive segments of the corporate network. Which of the following best describes the technical approach Acme Corp should take to address the audit findings and enhance network security? A. Implement a NAC solution using MAC address filtering to ensure only registered devices can access the network. B. Deploy a NAC solution with posture assessment that checks devices for compliance with security policies before granting network access. C. Use firewall rules to segment the network and control access based on IP addresses. D. Utilize encryption to secure data in transit across all network segments.
Looks like the bees have it. Nice. Okay. See if we can get one more in, or you guys want to call it? Thumbs up, thumbs down. One more? Okay.
As the head of IT security for a large financial institution, you are tasked with ensuring the privacy of sensitive customer data during transmission and storage. The institution uses a mix of cloud services and on-premises servers. The organization is subject to strict regulatory requirements that mandate the encryption of personally identifiable information, PII. You must design a system that protects PII while allowing for access by authorized users only under specific conditions. Given these requirements, which technical implementation approach should you prioritize to maintain data privacy and compliance? A. Implement full disk encryption on all servers and require two-factor authentication for access. B. Utilize field-level encryption for PII and employ role-based access control in conjunction with identity management solutions. C. Deploy a VPN to encrypt all traffic between cloud and on-premises servers. D. Configure firewalls to restrict access to servers containing PII and monitor network traffic for anomalies.
Got some bees rolling in. Yeah, our back. I got some in there too. Good job. Well, this is a good session, y'all. Appreciate it. And like I said, please send me some practice questions that you like, if you have some that you do like, and I will absolutely make sure to start to make them better. I think once the cloud progress tracking is in a good spot, we'll be in a great place to really dial in the questions. Well, I'll ask you guys another time. It's getting late. Everybody have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for joining. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thank you.
All right. Good night, everyone.
All right,
Bye-bye.